Okay, everyone, good afternoon. We'll just wait a couple of minutes just so we can grab the last few of our attendees and give you guys a little bit of time to set your microphones and headphones up, and then we'll get started. Okay, let's get started. Good afternoon, everyone. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Michael Bradley, and I'm the Partner Account Manager for Dropbox within the ANZ region. And I'd love to welcome you all to our HelloSign product demonstration for the channel. We're privileged enough to have a few guests that I've invited along to join us this afternoon from our HelloSign team based in San Francisco. We have David Chang, who is the Vice President of Business Development and Channel, and Jack Doyer, who is a Senior Accounts Executive. And both of these guys have been with HelloSign for a long time and fortunately know a hell of a lot more about the product than I do. So I'll be letting them run a lot of today's demonstration and session. Just to set the expectation, there's a few things that I'd love for you to take away from today's webinar. One would be an in-depth understanding of the Enterprise and Enterprise Plus SKUs, as well as the accompanying add-ons that you guys can choose. Of course, why small to medium businesses choose HelloSign globally, how the product differentiates itself from competitors such as DocuSign and Adobe Sign, most commonly talked about alternatives, and why we, Dropbox and HelloSign, believe the channel can derive value from HelloSign, and of course, vice versa. Just before I hand over to my colleagues, I'll ask a few things of you guys, just some housekeeping. The first is that if you have any questions throughout the session and relevant to any specific feature or function during the demonstration, I'll have you guys pop that into the question box within the control panel. And secondly, if you can answer the 2 poll questions that we're going to pop into the screen, you'll see that pop up above the viewing screen. If you could give us an honest answer to those, that would be wonderful. Of course, there's no pressure if you don't wish to answer any of those questions. So with that, I'll hand over to my colleague David, who will give you a quick introduction from the HelloSign perspective before we get stuck into the demo.
Great. Well, I see the poll question just popped up, so hopefully everybody saw that and they'll be able to answer. But first and foremost, I want to say thank you, everybody, for giving us the time to learn a little bit more about HelloSign. Since we were acquired by Dropbox about a little over a year ago, our momentum in the market just continues to grow, especially by being able to leverage a huge and rich partner community like some of the folks on the phone today. I think that, you know, if people aren't familiar with e-signature and HelloSign, a quick introduction of us is really, you know, our mission is frankly to streamline the full document signing process. Our products and our e-signature platform today helps customers and millions of users complete business transactions substantially faster, far more efficiently, and far more securely. Today, I think we have 110,000 paying businesses that use one or more of our e-signature products across 150 different countries today. So before we get into the product demo, I just wanted to make sure that I'm addressing, you know, frankly, what I think is the most important reason for people to be on this call is why partners should sell e-signature and why partners should sell HelloSign. If you don't know, analysts today estimate the e-signature market to be at almost $25 billion, of which very little of that has been penetrated so far. So what that means is there's a huge playing field for acquiring new greenfield customers, as well in the event of churning off existing e-signature vendors that don't provide the same value and the same product features that HelloSign does. Another reason why I think e-signature is a great solution for partners to sell is, frankly, it's easy to sell. Customers intuitively understand the benefits, right? You can dramatically increase the speed to sign and execute your most important documents, and you can do that with a far more efficient digital process rather than traditional pen and paper. Also anybody who's signed a document using traditional print, sign, and scan and had to walk them around an office, that's not a very secure experience for your most important critical industry documents. So document security and visibility is of utmost importance these days. I think what's also very important for partners clearly is to have a diverse revenue stream associated with any of the vendors that you decide to offer to your customers. HelloSign, obviously with us, there is annuity license revenue potential. And given e-signature today is more of a line of business solution than a vertical solution, it provides tremendous opportunities for upsell and cross-sell as different portions of the organization see the value that other lines of business are generating from e-signature. They tend to adopt it itself. But also associated with HelloSign, there is ancillary professional services revenues that you can generate. There's obviously anything associated with onboarding and training. If there's any configuration that needs to be done, support, ongoing maintenance, or even potentially some custom integration. So all that is additional revenue built on top of the annuity license revenue. I also want to note, there are, many e-signature providers in the market today, but as compared to our two main competitors, we think the main reason why you should select to work with HelloSign versus some of our competitors is, first and foremost, we think we're the most channel partner-friendly e-signature solution on the market. And so what does that really mean? Well, first of all, we've built an incentive structure where you're not competing with our direct sales team. We've aligned incentives so we actively seek to work with partners to deliver our solutions and deliver our products to our customers' hands. Also, you have the ability to sell a full suite of our products. Jack's going to demo those products a little bit later today, but they include our HelloSign Enterprise product, our Enterprise Plus product, our Salesforce. We have 2 Salesforce connectors, as well as our API product. A couple areas where we do stand apart from our competitors, I think, our partner support and responsiveness. Being a younger company, probably 10 years younger than Adobe and DocuSign, we have to be really agile, and we really have to take care of our partners and our partners' customers to win share and win market presence. And finally, for partners that really are invested in working with us and invested in delivering HelloSign solutions to their customer base, we have a substantial amount of co-marketing and MDF funds available to help drive that growth. We'll talk about just a couple of other things before handing over to Jack, but where our products also stand out quite significantly is on a pricing standpoint. So our products typically are, anywhere from 3 to 5x cheaper than some of our competitors. And that's especially true in some of the higher end SKUs that we offer. That, I think, is very important, obviously, from a sales perspective, but also from a wallet share perspective. It allows your customers to allocate more budget to the professional services as you're not cleaning them out completely by the license revenue. Finally, I want to point out HelloSign, our own internal stats show that almost 42% of our sales are closed within 30 days and 90% of our sales are closed within 90 days. So that velocity means speed to revenue for partners that have invested in HelloSign. So on that note, let's show you the product. So I'm going to hand it over to Jack Dower, and he's going to walk you through the HelloSign Enterprise and Enterprise Plus SKUs.
Thanks, David. And I'm just waiting for my little modal here to help me share. And I'm going to, you know, as we're waiting for that, it would be great if some of you, some brave volunteers, would pop in your email address into the questions area, and that way I'm going to use it during my demo. I'm actually going to send you a test signature request, and I like making my demos interactive. So that would really help me out if anybody could pop in their email address into the question area. I'm still waiting on my modal here. All I'm seeing is the quick poll for my engineers behind the scenes here. Sorry. Apologies for the technical difficulties here, guys. We'll get my screen up in a second. Oh, there we go. Great. And I see a couple of emails popping in. That should do just fine. Thank you so much to those of you that input those. Kai, Ben, David, thanks very much. That'd be sufficient. I think we're ironing out some difficulties with the screen share, so sorry about that. My kingdom for a screen share. Come on. Oh boy. I typically use Zoom at the office, so no offense, go to meeting. Okay. Here we go. Sorry about that delay, folks. There we go. Everybody should be seeing my screen now. Yes. All right. So before I jump in, this is HelloSign.com. As you can see, we have the ability to log in right here, of course, but I wanted to quickly touch on, we also work with single sign-on, SAML. We use Okta at HelloSign, so just to show you, there is your pathway in, and we work with most single sign-on and SAML, so just wanted to mention that. This is actually my production account, not my demo account, so I'm going to toggle back to the website for that. And I'm just going to take you through a really simple example of how you send a request for the first time today. Then we can certainly branch things out into more use case details. So feel free to use that question bar. We're going to get to those at the end. But here, I'm just going to click on login, choose which product I'd like. We have some other products. And we have OAuth baked in with Google, with Dropbox. So I'm going to start there with my Google. And there's the email account that corresponds to my HelloSign. And here is really one of the big benefits of HelloSign is how parsed down it is, very easy to understand for the layman that's never sent an e-signature before. Who needs to sign? Really straightforward, just me and some others, or just others. And I'm going to select just others. There's some other options over here you'll notice. We'll get to those eventually, but first let's just send that request. And here you can see, get your documents signed. Once again, just kind of gently nudging them in the right direction. We can add a file, meaning something that we already have, of course. And I'm going to quickly grab something. And you might have noticed that's a PDF. It does not need to be a PDF with HelloSign, though. We're really flexible. We don't want to limit our users very much. We want to keep that very open-ended. So all of these files are going to be eligible to be uploaded and used. So I can just keep on uploading. You have up to 500 pages of text to work with here. So if I were to upload a different file, I could just drag and drop the order that I would like if I wanted to send a much larger packet. So it's very easy. I'm just going to get rid of our pricing guide there. That doesn't need to be signed. And here we have out-of-the-box cloud storage integrations. All of these are existing and have been before even we were a Dropbox company, but our Dropbox integration has gotten that much better since the acquisition last year. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a second, but every one of our file sync and share components are going to have this aspect where you have the ability to go into your file sync and share, search for whatever document you'd like, and you'll notice this HelloSign folder that we create automatically. And that's going to have all your HelloSign documents backed up with a full audit trail once they're complete. Just another nice repository to be able to access them with your team outside of just the Documents tab where we also back them up. And with Dropbox, we have a special integration, obviously, that's for Dropbox companies. So you can be sending out directly from Dropbox with an extension. So you need never even go to HelloSign should you wish, and just be sending out of Dropbox, backing up into Dropbox. So really nice flexible tool there on the Dropbox end, as well as some of these other cloud storage providers. And as you can see, we can drag and drop files right from our desktop if we wanted. So, and thank you to my volunteers. So I'm going to quickly type your names in here, starting with Kai, first across the finish line. And apologies while my slow fingers type. And we can add signers really easily here just by clicking the plus button. Next is Ben. And moving on, one more signer, David. Thanks to all of you once again. And that's David at property.com. And I imagine there's a .au, even there's no ellipsis there. So we'll go with that. You'll notice there are some other icons going past here. The X, of course, if I wanted to get rid of David. You'll notice import contacts. You can upload a whole address book if you'd like to make things easier. Folks' names start showing up after a couple of keystrokes, much like your email. We can also create an access code. The padlock there, that is, if you want to create a password for this one signing request, you certainly can. You just create it here and you share it in a separate communication with that end recipient, just so they can access the document. Even more useful, we now have this paperclip here. So once they're done signing, we can now ask them to upload a document or some other attachment that will be useful for us. We can actually ask for up to 5 different attachments. So I'm just going to type this in, and we can make it so you can have a required upload or make it flexible and just an optional upload. You can enter your instructions here, or if it's really complicated instructions, you can even add an attachment of what you would like uploaded to save yourself from typing a novel in here, of course. So I'm just going to turn this on for all of you to try and leave it not required, so that way you can see what it's like on your side. And down here, we have the ability to add carbon copies. Whole departments can be updated. Sales needs to know when those are signed. Managers, whoever you would like. You have up to 5 slots of carbon copies that will be kept up to date, receiving email notifications if you'd like, and the completed document with the full audit trail. A couple more options that are kind of cool. I'll turn this one on for you to interact with. Signer reassignment. Now you can assign someone else to sign the document. Say I receive a document and it's actually my cohort David, who was speaking before, our head of channel, that needs to sign it. I would be able to pass it to David by virtue of a hyperlink that says not the right signer, assigned to someone else. And that's going to ride on every document right at the top of the iframe when I check this box. So I'll leave that on. That's a very useful tool. Can work for a legal review. Sometimes there's a lot of nice options with that. You can reassign it as many times as you'd like. It's not just a one-time reassign. You can continue reassigning it even back to the original signer should you wish. If we want to assign signer order, that's the other checkbox. Maybe I want David to be the first signer and Kai to be the last. You can toggle these arrows however you'd like, and you have up to 20 different signers per signature request. So one signature request with us, 20 signers signing in order or no order, and up to 500 pages of text, and that is one signature request. So pretty high, robust thresholds there. Now it's already dummy proofing me. No fields are assigned. Now I have to go and prepare the document. So I will do so. And here is our editor coming up. So I can just drag and drop signatures into places that I would like. The first, sorry, my home internet, not as good as my office internet. There we go. So here it's showing Kai was the first one listed, so it's defaulting to him. But if I want it to be Ben, see right there, it's going to change the colors. So every signer has their own color. It's going to be very straightforward for me to know who is signing where. If I have a lot of different people signing, I've got to have at least one signature. So apologize, I'm going to put, sorry, David, you're going to sign down on the date line there. But just to show you, we have a lot of other fields just outside of signature boxes, of course. Not just fields to fill in, but some conditional logic rules that we can build in. And just to kind of show you what I mean by that. So this text box, let's say David is assigned to it. We can now create a rule. So if this checkbox is checked or not checked, we'll say if it is checked, we're going to show a certain field, and we just need to select it by clicking down and dragging to select that field. Now those diagonal lines are indicating this will only show up should David check on this box. So you can imagine a lot of useful ways that this could be used, and you don't just have to rely on the standard static fields that you fill in or not. You can actually hide fields and it becomes a lot more useful tool. If we're just expecting the recipients to fill things in with no rules, we have some cool stuff out of the box. So you can change the font, the family, even out of the box validation, numbers, letters, so you have some control over what the inputs are. We can even do custom regex. So if your clients would like the ability to change the validation rules, something that's not out of the box here, they certainly can. Maybe it's 3 numbers and 3 letters. It's completely open-ended and up to your clients, whatever validation rules they would like to create, that's their option with custom regex. And this is only available, much like the conditional logic rule, on our Enterprise Plus SKU. I'm going to go through the fact that we have 2 different enterprise tiers or SKUs in just a moment here, and we'll go through those differences. But just note, the advanced fields, the conditional logic, this drop down, radio buttons, those are all going to be on the top tier. Enterprise standard will include some things like the attachments feature and that sign or reassignment, but not these advanced fields that I'm showing you. All right, so as you can see, there's some other fields we can put on here as well. But if there are other questions on the editor, please just pop those into the questions tab, and we'll get to those at the end. So now that I've assigned everything, I'm just going to title the document. This is also going to act as the subject line in the email. So I'll just say, hi guys, please sign, and sign on your phone if you can, because we have mobile optimized signing. There is nothing that needs to be done from your client's perspective. We're just going to respond to the size of the device that it's opened on, whether that's a computer or it's a phone. It's going to fit the screen. They're signing with their finger if they're on their phone. It's that simple. So I'll go ahead and request the signature, and now I'm going to show you we do have that ability to create templates. A template, of course, is a document that you're going to upload and use over and over again, like an NDA or something that you don't want to have to upload every day that gets used all the time. Once again, these can have 1 through 20 signers. You can have ordered signing, signer reassignment, attachments, all those things. And all enterprise tiers come with unlimited templates. So your clients don't need to worry about running out of their library. They can make as many as they want. Or they can also create a template link. And what this is, it's only good for a 1 signer option, but it's very useful for a company that has, say, a waiver that only 1 person needs to sign. And then it can just live on their website, because it just converts this template into a hyperlink, which can either just live on a website and be clicked upon. And when someone clicks on it, it will just ask them for their email address. And at that point, it's going to send them their own copy of the document. And that's why it's a 1 signer only. There's only 1 line for 1 email. But it's very useful. You can send it out to a massive list of people. They can all click on that same link and get their own copy of the document. So that's something I just wanted to point out. And then our Documents tab is your source of truth with HelloSign. Like I said, we have file sync and share, so you can be seeing those documents merge into your Dropbox, for instance. Or you can come back to the Documents tab. We have everything sorted by recency when I first click in. So here's the one I just sent to you guys. I can see it's still unsigned by all of you. I could edit and resend if I wanted to, if there's something that I made a mistake, you haven't touched it yet, so I can pull that email back and change it. I can send reminders. We automatically remind it 3 days and 7 days, and I believe today's release, we are pushing out the ability for you to change the days. So maybe you want 5 days and 12 days. That's a new feature that HelloSign just pushed out today, and that's one of my favorite things about working at HelloSign. I've been there for almost 5 years. We do a new release every 3 weeks. New features, bug fixes every 3 weeks. I've been there for 5 years. We've kept to that cadence. And now with Dropbox behind us, we're only going to continue to see that velocity of new features being pushed out. So this is a very dynamic product. We're always pushing the envelope. That's just one of the newer features. So you can even click into the different stages. So if I just wanted to see all of my completed documents, I could do so here. Here we have an attachment. So I'll show you this one. We'll go ahead and preview the document. And here it's going to be a signature. A unique document ID is stamped at the bottom by us, so we can now associate that. And he uploaded something. He uploaded a picture of his Dell computer. Very nice. but obviously on a sales demo, as you can understand. Here's the audit trail, full document ID and everything that happened with that document, including when he uploaded it, where he uploaded it from. All the moments in that document's life are tracked, and this is added as the last page every time. We do have those out-of-the-box integrations that I was talking about before with cloud storage. We also have the full Google suite of apps here, Gmail, so you can be signing right in Gmail without having to go to HelloSign, be working in Google Docs with your cohorts and send right from there for signature without having to go to HelloSign. And of course, our Salesforce integration. As David mentioned, we have Salesforce, we have ability to work with Salesforce CPQ, and we are the first e-signature provider to support Salesforce communities. So we are really leading the fray there. DocuSign, yes, they got there first, but we're the only company that allows users to stay entirely within Salesforce, even administrators, without having to hop back to HelloSign to manage templates. We allow folks to work entirely within Salesforce and never touch HelloSign.com if they don't want to. As well as Slack's a big one, HubSpot, a lot of QQ Catalyst, a lot of options here, and these are all out of the box, ready to go. No real API integration that needs to take place. HelloSign for Salesforce, obviously, a little bit of tinkering that needs to happen within the interface of Salesforce by the admin, but very light lifting for the standard usage. So I want to pivot now to how you administer, and the way you administer HelloSign, the admin console. This is available on our highest tier. And our highest tier, I want to just quickly point out some of the differences, because they're very similar, the two tiers, and they're both very useful. They're both unlimited usage, but there is a couple of things that differentiate the two HelloSign Enterprise SKUs. So Enterprise and Enterprise Plus both include unlimited templates, unlimited documents. Both of them are going to include those signer attachments. Sorry about that. And they're both going to include Salesforce integration. It's just a nominal fee on either one of those to add Salesforce. But some of the big things that are different are these for the advanced branding, advanced fields, bulk send, and multi-team. So I'm going to quickly just touch on what those mean. Advanced branding, that just means Enterprise Plus is going to give you the ability to have multiple teams. So if you have, your multiple products and you want to have different logos going out, instead of just showing the HelloSign logo when these are sent out, you could have as many brands under your one account as you would like. As many as teams as you have, each one could have their own brand. With standard enterprise, you just get one brand. You can replace HelloSign, but just you have one option of what you'd like to replace it with. So that's advanced branding. Advanced fields, I touched on some of these things in the demo. This is going to enable you to do things like conditional logic, drop down fields, radio buttons, clickable links, even within the document that they're signing, they could click and it could take them to a website. Those are all advanced fields, and those are all going to push you to the highest tier of the Enterprise Plus. Bulk send, super useful. This allows your clients to upload a CSV into HelloSign, and then they can automate sending up to 250 individual requests at a time, just by us reading the CSV file, reading the email address, and sending it out. And best of all, they can also push custom data. So if there's any rows in that CSV file they would like to push onto the document, they certainly can. They just need to name the row to correspond with the text field they placed on the HelloSign template, and that will push on whatever data is on the CSV file that can then be signed by that recipient in a very automated way through a tool that is out of the box. And then multi-teams. This is the ability to have an organization with multiple teams, with multiple managers, but the teams are islands unto themselves. In other words, the HR manager can manage their team and see all their team's documents, but they can't see the sales team's documents, or the sales manager can't see the HR team's documents. So it's very useful in bigger corporations or bigger companies. So when you're going, this is the admin console, and this is only available on our highest SKU of Enterprise Plus. You can bulk invite, just upload that address book, and that makes it really easy, of course. Or we can invite users one at a time. So you type in their email, and once your clients are provisioned with this tool, they are able to go in and just add seats one at a time. They type in an email, they tell what team they're on, their accounting, sales. There's no limitation on how many teams they have. And then they're designating what type of member are they. Are they just a team member, meaning they can only see their documents and the documents that have been shared with them? developers for API, we'll leave it on the side for now. We don't have to be concerned with that for this call. Team manager can provision new members and manage their team, but they cannot see other teams or manage other teams' members. And then there's the admin. The admin can provision new team managers, manage billing, control aspects of integrations for everybody. And there's no limitation on how many total admins there are per team. So keep that in mind. But this is the Enterprise Plus only. Otherwise, if you're using standard Enterprise, you're just clicking on a team tab similar to right here and just inviting people. They're not going to have that option of what team to place them on, of course. Some cool things about the admin console outside of just that admitting folks and designating teams is we have some out-of-the-box reporting right here, so we can see some nice pie charts, what's been happening with my requests. It's early on in the month here, so we're it's not as exciting on April 2nd there, but you can imagine you can see some document statuses. You can even report based upon dates, user activity, document statuses. All of these things are possible. You can even come and upload branding and customize the different emails that are going out. So it's a very easy dashboard to maintain, as you can see. So outside of that, it's a really straightforward tool. That's HelloSign. Everything that you see on the screen, I think we've walked through already. So I think I'm ready to take over and toggle to the questions.
Thank you, Jack. I appreciate you taking the time, obviously, to join us pretty late in the US, running us through each of those features and benefits inside of the Enterprise and Enterprise Plus SKUs. I hope that was very valuable to everyone, and of course that you can see how you guys could be able to deliver that to your end users and of course administer those and support your customers. So we've had a couple of questions pop through during this session, and what I'll do is I'll read each one of those out, and then I'll give it to Jack and David to answer some of them.
Great.
We have a technical question here, I guess. I'm not sure if it's too much of a statement or a question, but anyway, we have limited to 500 pages of text, or is there a gigabyte limit? Presumably graphics intensive pages will chew up more than one standard page. Jack, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, good question. So you have up to 500 pages, but 40 megabytes per upload. As long as you keep under that 500 page limit, you have up to 40 megabytes for every uploaded document that you're pushing through. I hope that's answering your question.
Hope that answers that one. We got another one here. This is relevant to the Microsoft integrations. Again, Jack, you might be able to speak to this one. Pretty sure I know the answer already. It's, can it read files from SharePoint or Teams?
Not currently. It is David, maybe you
actually,
can.
Jack, sorry about that. Actually, you can pull documents from both OneDrive Personal, OneDrive Business, as well as SharePoint. So
perfect. So just not Teams yet.
We don't have Teams yet. We do have an integration with what used to be called Microsoft Flow, which is their process builder. So that's an alternative tool that you can utilize to access HelloSign in conjunction with Microsoft Teams.
Wonderful. This one's in relation to designating multiple signers with the assigned order. Does the second person not get notified until the first person has signed, or are they all notified at the same time, but it indicates that one is waiting before the other one can?
Great question. Yeah, that's exactly how it works. So even if it was 20 people, all 20 would get emailed that the signature request has been sent, and they would just be notified, hey, it's not your turn yet, but we will notify you when it's your turn. So it would be the first signer would be prompted, and then the next signers would be notified that the document's out there, it's coming to them soon.
Perfect. Jack, this is a good one for you. If resellers are not industry focused and they're more generalist, what types of roles would you be aiming for in terms of decision makers as they prospect for HelloSign?
It's a good question. Operations folks, sales ops is a good one. Product guys. I mean, we deal a lot with API, so that my my knowledge is largely in the API world, so it's not. That's a tough question for me because I'm often dealing with API folks. But
So
the
Jack,
sales
if I could-
ops managers, David, go ahead.
Oh yeah, so if I can jump in here, maybe just frame the question a little different way. As I mentioned earlier, HelloSign really is a line of business products, and some of the most popular lines of business which utilize HelloSign, in no particular order, are sales organizations. So your VP of sales is a great persona to target. Your head of sales ops is a great person to target. HR is another very common use case, especially associated with onboarding documents and offer letters, which need to get signed quickly so as your competitors don't steal those candidates. So directors of HR, heads of recruiting, those types of people are always target prospects. Another use case, as you can imagine, are legal departments. So any kind of head of legal or head of legal operations is somebody that you want to target, as they have, probably very important, critical legal documents. As a follow-up, we'll send out some content, and in that there's, as you can imagine, any line of business that has a number of documents that need to be signed quickly and securely would be a candidate for electronic signature.
Perfect. Thanks, David.
Thanks, David.
Another one for you, David. This is towards sales motions. Outside of ease of use, when does HelloSign typically win versus its competitors? Is it the price point? Is it the unlimited signatures? What's your mention on that one, David?
Yeah, I mean, I think first and foremost, it's user experience. I mean, we design to make the user experience as intuitive as possible. We understand that customers don't want to be investing a whole ton of time learning about tools. They really want to get faster to value. So that is a real differentiator for both these enterprise products and our Salesforce products and our API. But we touched on a couple of the other ones, right? Price is certainly very important. Wallet share within IT organizations is critical, and so we want the ability to pass on our any of our savings onto our partners, so as they can take larger share of the customer's wallet budget. I think a third area that we touched on before is absolutely 100% support, both for the end customer and the partner support. We actually provide free support with all the products we just talked about. We have award-winning technical support as well for those more technical questions. But we also have great customer support to help you with onboarding, or if you have any questions about billing, usage, etc. So I think those are really the three primary drivers for why us versus some of our competitors.
Perfect. Can we provide a list of discovery questions resellers can use? I'll quickly take that one. Yes, of course we can. I think that the majority of the questions that will come for your customers would have come out of today's webinar. You would have seen a lot of features and functions that Jack has run through today. Of course, if you want to know more information about the product, or if you want to understand more about the sales motions, I would have you reach out to your partner account manager, or of course we can get in contact with our contact details after this webinar.
I can share with you, Michael, for that, so you can disseminate that.
Beautiful, thank you.
Yep.
Another one here. What versions of HelloSign can resellers sell?
Yeah. You want to take that, Michael, or I can?
Go for it.
Yeah, today the enterprise end user product, which Jack just demoed, and the enterprise plus end user product, which as you can see has some really advanced features targeted more upmarket customers, would be probably a better fit for the enterprise plus product. We have the two Salesforce connectors, so you can send directly from any standard or custom object from within Salesforce, and then sync the document back into notes and attachments or files for storage. Our second Salesforce offering is Salesforce CPQ, so you can generate and send a document directly from formerly SteelBrick, Salesforce CPQ, which is very important for customers like in manufacturing or medical devices, or somebody that has a really complex bill of materials. These are the type of folks that can take advantage of CPQ in conjunction with Salesforce. Finally, we do have our API product. It really is our flagship product today. You can contact your partner account manager, and we can work with you on a quote and being able to co-sell our API to your customers. Our API is, frankly, the leader in the marketplace with regards to speed of development and ease of development with regards to the development tools, the SDKs we provide, the lightweight and straightforward code. Against our competitors, a simple GET request could be, for us, 4 lines of code. For them, it could be as many as 40 lines of code, given a lot of their historical tech debt. So that product as well, you can, reach out directly to Michael or, any of your partner account managers, and we can work with you on the API.
Brilliant. A little more on this OneDrive integration. David, again, you might want to take this one. Big Microsoft shop, it'd be good to know how much of a Microsoft integration actually exists. So what is the functionality that we can leverage with OneDrive, David?
Yeah, so you'll be able to, from OneDrive, you'll be able to access a document, send it for signature, and then sync it back into OneDrive. And then after this call, I've got a couple of videos showing very quickly and easily how you can utilize OneDrive and signing with SharePoint.
Awesome. It looks like this one's about the legal defensibility of the e-signature by Australian authorities. And David, I know we've been hit with this one before, so I'll let you take the reins here. We have many real estate agents as clients who deal with leases. Can we touch on the security aspects, and is this method accepted by Australian authorities?
So first of all, we are compliant with all the major e-sign laws across the world. The e-sign law of 2000, EIDAS in Europe, GDPR. We have, as I mentioned, customers in over 150 different countries today. We are absolutely compliant with New Zealand and Australian law. With regards to security and defensibility, we have a whole trust center, because I'm sure that I won't be able to do it justice on this call, but we have numerous compliances that should provide you a great deal of comfort around our security. We're both SOC 1 and SOC 1 Type 1, SOC 1 Type 2 compliant. We're HIPAA compliant. Jack, I'm sure I'm missing some others.
7001's another one that's big, but yeah, we can share the trust center with Michael, and he can certainly follow up with folks with that if they want to read more about HelloSign security and compliance.
Yeah, and we have very powerful encryption at both transit as well as at rest.
Yep, 256-bit secure socket layer.
Brilliant. I'll just take another 2 quickly before we wrap up the session today. Is there going to be a monthly plan option for resellers? David, what's the pipeline for that SKU?
Yeah, actually, for the very short term, that's not going to be the case. To be totally candid, there is a ton of IT development that needs to happen on our side to be able to really manage, track, and provision. So, I would check back probably in Q4 of the calendar year for the monthly SKU. But right now, we are just offering annual with a minimum of 5 users.
Yep. And I think we can take 2 questions here and answer them at once. The the not for resale pricing or licenses that you guys can leverage. I'll quickly take that one. Of course, we have not for resale or internal use licensing. It has all the same features, functions that you would have seen here today. So you can demo that to your clients and you can test your integrations. So I would have you reach out to your partner account manager again, and we can obviously share the link with anyone that has attended if you haven't already requested your licenses. So that's it for us this afternoon, everyone. Thank you very, very much for joining us. I hope we've given you a little bit of insight into the world of e-signature and, more importantly, HelloSign. I would just like to give a shout out and praise to David and Jack for joining us late in the evening. We made them skip their dinner, so they're going to ferociously run off after this webinar. Thank you guys for taking the time to demonstrate that to our resellers. If there are any following questions, please reach out to Dropbox. We'd be more than happy to take those. And if there are any ongoing concerns or you would like to have us run one of these demonstrations for your end users, of course, we're happy to do so. Again, thanks for your time, everyone. Have a good day.